This week on Cycle Fever, we're heading south for a little Key West attitude. It will be a relaxing, moped riding, stair climbing, ghost hunting, splash of a time. So stay with us. Hey, Bill.
Hey, partner, what's up?
Isn't this gorgeous?
Oh, this is great.
I'll tell you what, here we are, the Florida Keys, beautiful morning, sitting here relaxing a little bit.
I love it. Doesn't get any better. I'm gonna roll my pants up, man. You think this would offend anybody, man?
Oh, you're gonna scare them by doing that?
You think anybody?
Look at them ham hocks, man. Our first job was to join the locals and drop down about 1,500 cc's. This guy looks like he knows doing. How you doing? I'm Hank Knapp.
Jeremy Ray.
Glad to meet you, Jeremy.
Jeremy, hi, I'm Bill Young.
Bill, nice to meet you.
You got something to do with this company?
Oh yeah, yep. We're renting scooters here by the day in 24 hours.
Okay, so you can rent one for 24 hours.
Yep.
Whereabouts you located?
Right here on the boulevard is North Roosevelt Boulevard. It's the main entrance to the island, heading right downtown.
Well, I tell you what, Hank and I have been seeing these scooters all over Key West, and we're gonna join the locals, and we're gonna toot around on these things for a day or so.
Good idea.
Do we need a helmet?
You don't need a helmet. It's not required.
Super.
All the scooters that you see on the island are all 50 cc. You won't find anything bigger than that because the law then requires you to have a helmet and a motorcycle license. So these are nice.
So anybody can come down and rent one?
As long as you're got a valid driver's license, you can ride one. Yep.
Any age limit on it?
Age limit, in order for you to rent one with the companies, you're going to need to be 18 to fill out a contract, to be responsible for the
You're
contract.
18?
Several times in my life.
Okay. Then
I was
pass
18
it.
4 or 5 times at least.
Now, Key West has an enormous amount of history to it. But like everything else in our lives, we decided to go straight to the top. The Key West Lighthouse Museum, AKA the Step Climber 2000. Folks, we're at the Key West Lighthouse, and when you come through the door and you pay to get in, this is the first thing you see. So Bill and I are right here inside the lens of one of the lighthouses.
What do you say we go to the top and let's see what Key West looks like from, I don't know how tall this thing is, but a long way up.
Let's go out there and take a look then.
Let's go.
Bill, I got another one of these fancy trees. What is this thing?
I don't know. I think it's a banyan tree. But you know the worst part about this, Hank?
Yeah.
Every time I turn around, you come into one of these lighthouses. I get to crawl up to the top of this thing again. I told you I only got one lung.
Don't give me the one long stuff. Look, you did well when you went over to the other 3 lighthouses. You made it all the way to the top. You'll make it to the top of this one. And this one isn't as tall as the last one you went in. So let's go in here. No complaints. Just climb to the top and let's wave to the people. Oh. You know what, Bill? I think we ought to put a thing into the national parks and everybody else. We need to have elevators.
Elevators installed.
Elevators
in all
installed.
Of the lighthouse.
Because I want to tell you something here.
Absolutely.
Watch your step. It's a tight turn
How
there.
many more 10,000 feet do we have to go?
Okay. We're near the top.
But these lighthouse people weren't fat.
Hey, Bill, you may be able to see the top of this thing.
I think we're making it. I think we're.
Oh, yeah, look at this.
Oh, it took us 2.5 days to get to the top. Cool.
Oh, look at this sight. Wow.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, look at the pirate ship. Bill, I got the Hemingway house right over there.
That's it right there?
That's the Hemingway house.
I'll tell you what, it must have been a wild place when he was here. Sleepy little fishing town. Resort area hadn't really hit in yet. You guys are doing sports fishing.
I wonder if you ever thought this house would be a place you had to pay big bucks to go into and look at.
I don't know, man.
Well, that's the Hemingway house. We look out over here. We got all the water out over on this side.
See the harbor down here? The guy's
Harbor's back over in here.
You got parasailing out there.
Yep. I'll tell you, this is where, if you come over here to Key West, you need to come over to this lighthouse and get up here, get real high up and see everything. You could see 360 degrees all the way around. This town is a walking paradise and a lot of history. And Bill knows the history. I know the paradise side.
Well, most of it.
After returning the mopeds, we hopped back on our bikes and headed to the East Martello Museum on Roosevelt Boulevard, a site dedicated to housing some pretty unique art.
You know, every time you turn your corner in Key West, something new, Hank.
Weren't you telling me the Key West was like the most populated area in the state of Florida at one time?
1862, the middle of the Civil War, this was the most populated city in the state of Florida.
Ooh, come on.
You know, this used to be a covered walk right here,
Look-
man. It's
look
the,
at this.
the remains of it, man.
Hey!
Hello, anybody home?
Anybody there? Come on, let's go in there.
Let's bust in there. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey.
This thing.
Whoa.
Oh,
That must be the guard dog. Nice doggy.
man, look at this room.
That looks like a guard fish.
Wait a minute. You gonna tell me that the natives made this? Look at this. What is it? Oh, it's a pig.
Guard pig. Goes with the guard fish.
I wonder what these things were. Probably to a drawer or something.
It probably pulls off.
Oh, it's the pink pig. He ain't pink anymore.
Kind of looks like the rusty pig.
The folk art of Stanley
Papio.
Papio.
That's an old car I had when I was in high school.
It's
It was
a gorilla.
It was the Gorilla Mobile.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, man, we got a gold mine here. I'll tell you first.
Me first? Why is it always me first? It's me first in the lighthouses. Me.
Because I think you should go up there.
Oh man, come up here. Watch
Oh.
this.
Oh, is that nice? Look at that sun. The boat going out over there, the sailboat.
I tell you what, I know why people come down here to Key West to look at the sunset. It's worth the drive just for the sunsets, Hank.
It's got to be around here. I got that
I
eerie
don't know,
feeling.
Hank,
You know
this
what
place
I mean?
is dark, man. What are you talking about?
It's
We're
got to
lost.
be. It's got to be
We're
around
lost,
here.
I'm telling you.
Whoa! Hey, can you help me on the ghost tour?
I think I can help you out with that. We've been expecting you.
Oh.
He's been dead for years.
My name's David Sloan. I'm with Ghost Tours.
Dave, I'm Bill Young. How you
Pleasure to
doing?
meet you, Bill.
Ghost tours or Ghostbusters?
Ghost Tours.
Ghost tours.
Yeah.
Dave, are they
Friendly ghosts. Because of our limited time, Dave chose just a few of his more than 200 haunting Key West tales.
You know, Captain Tony's here was built back in 1851. From 1852 to 1875, it served as a bar and a morgue and an ice house. So you come visit your dead relatives and have a stiff drink all at the same
you
time.
could get that drunk here then.
Oh, yeah.
stop in for a cold one?
Probably the most unique story here. If you look over, there's a tree that grows right up through the middle. Look up top. Can you see the big bushy monster up there?
yeah.
Tree starts growing right in the middle of the bar. They don't cut it down because it's the original city hanging tree.
Oh.
70,
hanging tree?
Hanging tree. 77 people met their demise hanging from its branches. Most of them for piracy and some for murder. And one of them led to the ghost that's in there now. They call her the Lady in Blue. And what happened, she was hung for murdering her husband and her 2 children. And when they hung her, she was wearing like a blue nightgown or a blue kimono. And you're familiar with the way the noose is set up, where it's got the big thick
Right,
knot on
yeah.
the side? That's intended to kind of snap your neck, make you die a little bit quicker. Her neck didn't break, she died from the strangulation. They say her face matched the color of her nightgown. Right now we're at the old Customs House.
place?
Yeah, this place has an interesting story. It's just recently opened up as a museum, and about 6 months ago a girl came down to Key West. Her name was Gabriella, and 2 years before she'd ever been to Key West, she had a very vivid dream. In the dream, she was being chased by a couple of guys, and she said she came to a big triangular-shaped park and then saw a red brick building in front of her. Well, she broke in through the basement window, ran up a grand staircase, ended up on the 3rd floor. The guys were getting close behind her, and a girl seemed to appear from nowhere and said, "Here, hide inside of here," and showed her a secret room. Well, Gabriella, she comes to Key West 2 years later, having never been here before, was heading over to the Hilton and saw the triangle-shaped park.
Okay.
She looks up and sees the red brick building from the dream. Told her friend, "Wow, that's the building from my dream." And she started looking into it, found out a couple of interesting things. Not only is it one of the few buildings in Key West that has a basement, but it's also one of the few buildings in Key West that has a hidden room up on the 3rd floor. Right here, we got the Marrero Guest House, built back in 1889, and the ghost here leads back to 1891. There was a guy named Francisco Marrero who built the house, and what he did is he built it for his wife, Enriqueta, and they lived here with their 8 children. And one day, Francisco just disappeared. He died mysteriously. Turns out that he had 2 wives.
Oh, that's a good way to
The
get in
plot
trouble.
thickens.
Yeah, he was a bigamist. They think the first wife might have had him killed off. Anyway, she came down to Key West, contested the will. She took everything, and then Enriqueta and her 8 children were left out on the streets of Key West.
Not a very nice woman.
Not
All that
nice
took
at
place right
all.
here?
All that took place here. You know, as a matter of fact, the day came, it was June 16th, 1891. They say that Enriqueta came out of the door for the last time with her 8 children, stood there in the doorway, and swore that although she was being removed, it was rightfully her home, and she'd always remain here in spirit. And she has been very true to her word.
So she's the one who's haunting the
Yeah,
house.
she's the one haunting it. What ended up happening, her and her kids, they all died on the streets of Key West. One of her sons committed suicide. The others died from things like consumption and diphtheria. Eventually, she did pass away, and she's been haunting ever since.
This was all around the turn of the century.
Yeah, this was right around the turn of the century. And the good thing about this, not only do they see her ghost around the house, but the spirits of her 8 children. So they seem to all be together as a big, happy, haunting family.
This is crowded in there, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to tell you what, I don't want to stay here. Even though it says vacancy, I think there's a ghost that lives in here.
But she's a very good ghost. The tour is an hour and a half long, and that just touches on some of the spirits of the island. So we've got a whole lot, but you know, I've got some for you guys so you can take some of the spirits home with you. I wrote a little book on ghosts of Key West, and that way you'll never have to.
Super.
You'll never have to be alone anymore. And
It scares me.
one
This is
thing I
super.
want to warn you about: don't try reading it at night.